Thanks for being here, ladies. I'm so excited to practice together.
Thank you.
Yay. So let's just start.
I got some blocks.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, perfect.
Mm.
Awesome. We brought some blocks. All right, we will utilize those today. Yay. So ladies, any special requests today?
Just again for me, it's the lower pelvic coccyx, lower spine.
Okay, let's work on that. I love working on that.
I want to work on this side. I don't know. When I was walking this last week, I don't know, it just started feeling strange. I walked for about 4 miles, and if my husband hadn't come to pick me up, I wasn't going to be able to walk back. It
Aw,
just started. Oh, I can't even, it's hard to explain it. It was like a
okay.
dull ache. And I just knew I could not walk all the way back.
Yeah, okay.
And
Delete.
it happens every now and then. It comes every now and then. I
Is
don't
it
know.
usually
I don't have it right now. I'm
is it
sorry.
left hip usually?
It's my left. That's right.
Okay, okay, yeah, let's work on that. Perfect, yay. Okay, well, let's bolster ourselves up, whether it's on a cushion, a block, a blanket, get that extra height. And again, we can do your bottom of your feet together, or how I have mine is, it's like one heel stacked above the other. Yeah, so whichever one you wanna do. Okay. Hello, Sandy, welcome. She's settling in. Let's go ahead and extend our arms up, inhale. Get nice and tall, breathe into our bellies. Breathe into our abdomen, into our lungs, into our heart, all the way up to the top of our shoulders. Good morning. Welcome. Good.
Busy morning, but I'm here.
Hate it. I love it. Love it. And keep extending, and we can take those arms wide, still extending upwards, reaching through those fingertips. And see if you can roll those shoulders down your back. Inhale, pause. Make more space, get longer, get taller. Exhale, go ahead, exhale those arms down. But keep that opening and that expansion and that broadening in your heart and your chest. And again, this is where your inner courage comes. It's also like our inner compass, that north node of what we know, what is right for us, where to go. So lifting, extending, and now open the arms wide, reaching those palms out, reach to the fingertips. See if you can stack the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders. And again, this time let's breathe into our back body. So find that wing expansion, which always feels good. And now bring that breath behind your heart, in between your scapulas, your shoulder blades. Find that expansion on your back body. And we're still getting that external rotation of our arms, so shoulders rolling down the back. Extending out and releasing through the top of the head, softening the face, softening the throat, and yet the spine is strong. Exhale those arms down, but keep that widening, that opening, that broadening. And let's keep lifting behind the heart. So gently squeeze those scapulas together, those shoulder blades together. And just start to lift and reach that heart upwards and forwards. And And then let's find that neutral posture. So align your center head with your center shoulders, center sternum, center rib cage. So bring those front ribs back. Center pelvis. And let's work on that pelvic floor today. Okay. So pelvic floor, it's obviously really important during pregnancy, but it's important during every phase. And it's important during postpartum, it's important during labor, but really every phase of life. And so depending on how your feet are, if they're together, you can keep them, otherwise switch the crossings. So that pelvic floor also tones all of our organs and keeps all of our organs into place. Helps with any like prolapses. Also really important, you know, so we can like not pee ourselves when we're sneezing, these kinds of things. So let's find our pelvic floor, and there's the front body, the front of the pelvis. There's the two sides of the pelvis, the right and the left. And there's the back of the pelvis. And you're gonna imagine that you're sipping upwards from the center of the pelvis. And you're bringing all of those four corners up. And it's like you're drinking from a smoothie, you're lifting upwards. And again, it can be a little bit hard to mentally coordinate at first as you're finding all sides. But go ahead and lift, find that engagement. And then we're gonna coordinate that with our breath. So on your exhale, we're gonna exhale through our mouth. We're gonna lift the pelvis, lift all the four corners. So exhale. And again, it's like a straw lifting upwards. And then release on the inhale. And then on the exhale through your lips again. Engaging upwards in the pelvic floor. So we'll work on that today throughout class, and that's going to start to also balance out the pelvis, the pubis, the coccyx, all of that. Good. Okay. So coming up, go ahead and bring that left leg straight, that right leg up. And straighten your left foot as though it's up and down, parallel to the wall, like you're walking on the wall. Try and get your toes and your heels and your heel in alignment. And then spread all 10 toes wide. Reach through those toe tips. And we're reaching through those sit bones, those inner sit bones are reaching down towards the floor. The back of the pelvis, the sacrum, is lifting up towards the ceiling. All right, we're always working with those opposing actions. Sometimes it feels like you're trying to tap your head and rub your belly. So reach down through your sit bones, like roots growing. Reach the back of your pelvis, that sacrum, up. And then the heart also lifts, heart expands. And it's that internal lift, so it's inside your chest. It's truly finding that inner strength, that inner courage, that inner lift. And it's such a beautiful thing to find. It's like that inner upliftment when we're happy for no reason whatsoever. Or sometimes there's complete chaos going on. And yet we're still totally at peace and happy, right? That's that inner lift. And it's amazing. I always say, lead with your body and your heart will follow, your mind will follow, your emotions will follow. And so we can remember that also in times when we're stressed or things are hard, finding that inner lift, everything else will come along. And you'll start to find and tap into that peace again. Okay, expand your ribs like a barrel. Keep breathing. And then this left leg is like a pillar. It's nice and strong. The thigh is activated. The knee is engaged, so that kneecap is lifting up the thigh. And we're broadening and widening across the bottom of your left foot. Spreading all 10 toes wide. Pressing through those mounds of the big toes, the inner heels. Reach and extend through your toe tips. So we can really tone and strengthen our nervous system, working with those toe tips. And then find length in the sideways. We want to give our organs space. And also in finding this length, we're toning all of our important organs. Good. So your seat is grounded, you're reaching down, and yet everything else is lifting, extending, growing. Yes. And we keep rolling onto the front of the pelvis, which is going to really open up the pelvis, opening up those sit bones. And it's toning into that left hip. Who feels it in the left hip? Anyone? Keep reaching forward, lengthening, extending upwards. And roll those top shoulders down the back body. And give yourself a little bit more of a lean forward if you want to intensify the stretch in the pelvis and the hip and that left leg. And we want to find that alignment and that coordination through the left ankle, the left knee, the left hip, which then translates into the pelvis and translates into the spine. Engage behind your back. Yeah, so those scapulas are squeezing gently towards each other. And inhale that right arm up nice and tall. And then exhale, reaching on the inside of your knee, reaching forward. Whether you're reaching to your knee or to your shin or to your foot. But really focusing on finding that lift. Morning, welcome. And again, go ahead and breathe into your back body. Those who've got our left leg straight, right knee up. Thanks for joining us. Good. And exhale, come on in. Switch legs. Okay, so you might need to resituate. We want to get on the front inside edge of those sit bones. I'm doing a little bit wider stance to make space. And we want to make that right foot parallel to the wall in front of us, like you're walking on the wall. So press through the mound of your big toe. Spread your toes wide. Good. Reach through those toe tips. And really activate that whole right foot so it's strong, it's engaged, it's broadening, it's widening. And then we're going to engage this right leg. So see if you can suck the muscle to the bone. Engage the thigh to the bone. And roll from the outer right hip towards the inner groin, getting that internal rotation. And find that nice lift in your heart, in your chest. Chest is square, shoulders are rolling down the back, making the neck nice and long. So find that length in your neck. And keep rolling those shoulders away from your ears towards the floor, down the back. Find that lift in your front body, your front chest. And this is really toning throughout the whole spine. So anywhere that we have little weaknesses in the spine, it's gonna go there. It's gonna go to those spots and start toning. And then around the inside edge of our sit bones. So imagine your sit bones are releasing, growing towards the floor, like growing roots, reaching, expanding. And then our sacrum, the back of the pelvis, is lifting up towards the ceiling, towards the back of the head. So release your sit bones down towards the floor. And then reach the back of your sacrum, the sacrum skin up towards the head. And again, keep that right thigh nice and engaged, muscle to the bone, contracting. Contract the front of the thigh to the back of the thigh. Good, smooth breathing, remembering to breathe. Smooth inhale through your nose. Pause. And smooth exhale through your nose. Pause. And see how much of that full body awareness, full body engagement you can bring in from the spreading of your toe tips to the reaching through your inner heel, engaging the muscles of your right leg, of your thigh, reaching through your sit bones down towards the floor, reaching the back of the pelvis up towards the sky, heart opening, shoulders rolling down the back, neck lengthening, deep, deep breaths, getting that oxygen, and face softening, and heart lifting. Inhale that left arm up, making space in your organs, your tissue, your side waist, really letting those digestive organs have room, have space, so they can thrive. Keep lifting, engaging, and then exhale, draw that left hand forward. Yeah. And get that lift. Again, we're reaching down through our sit bones towards the floor and then lifting our inner core up towards the sky. Smooth breathing. Good. And deepening this a little bit, just by getting a little bit more of bend, a forward bend. And if your body's talking to you anywhere, if there's any of that aching, grueling, that's good. You're just moving through. And one more deep breath. Inhale through your back body, your whole spine. And exhale, come on out, come on up. And we're gonna bring those bottom of the feet together again. For those of you that started this way, Again, spread those sit bones wide so we can get on the inside edge of our pelvis so we can really do that deep pelvic work, which is so important. And then those heels start to come in. Drawing those heels in. Good. And ideally, we want to prop our butt up high enough that our pelvis, those two pelvic bones are above our knees, and that's going to release and open the groins. Okay, so roll on those front sit bones. And again, imagine those two sit bones are grounding down towards the earth, towards the floor. Perfect. And then we're gonna have that firm pressure of our feet pressing together. And that starts to engage throughout the whole spine, all the hips, everywhere. So let's try and just coordinate those two actions. Sit bones reaching down towards the floor. Feet pressing together to activate the spine, and then go ahead and lengthen the spine nice and tall, nice and long, reaching through that top center of the head. Face soft, throat soft. Yeah. And then a whole opening is going to start happening in the pelvis. So keep that firm pressure of your feet. And then begin to tone and grip the outer glutes, the hips. So through that pressure of your feet pressing together, find that activation, that toning in your hips and your glutes. And keep finding that lengthening, that extension in your spine. We're getting taller, we're growing. And keep going with those actions. So feet pressing together, hips activating, spine lengthening. Feet pressing, hips activating, spine lengthening. Top shoulders rolling down your back. Good. And center head, center shoulders, center belly button, center pelvis aligned. Feet pressing, hips toning. Those hips are drawing deeper and deeper and deeper into the hip socket. Really, really good for that left hip. Karen, yeah. And then the groins are just opening, releasing, widening. So front body is open, it's spacious. Back body is toning, it's working. Couple more breaths here so we can keep getting into that pelvis, keep getting into those hips. This is really a whole foundational reset. Breathing. Groins releasing. Sacrum, so that triangular bone at the back of your pelvis, reaching to the front of the room. Yep. Hips active, hips gripped, toned, glutes active, feet pressing, groins broadening, spine lengthening. And now just smooth out your breath as you're doing all of this work and holding this. And if you're really finding that activation in your pelvis, your sacrum, your hips, that toning, you might start to feel some percolating, some internal shaking. It's good, really good. The body's just releasing, letting go. And just a Couple more breaths here, going deeper. Iyengar would always say this word involution. We're doing involution, which is like evolution, but the inward journey. And inhale. Reach out the top center of your head. Get taller. Open the heart. And exhale. Okay. So now we're just going to soften and release everything. Release the tension, release the grip in the pelvis and the hips, because you just did a huge dissection. And then you're going to use keeping the pelvis really soft and no grip whatsoever. You're going to grab the outside edges of your knees and pretend like you can't use your legs, and you're going to bring those knees together with your hands. Yeah, staying soft for all that work we just did. Good. Okay, so you can spread your feet wide. Malasana. Yeah. Okay, and hugging those heels in. Another, another big pelvic opener, but also this is going to start toning into those hips, those glutes, those muscles around the sacrum, the back of your pelvis. So lift up, make space for your organs, and get that equal pressure on your feet. And spread your toes wide. Good. Press through the mounds of your big toes. So we can do make some real changes in the knee joint and the hip joint by working on our feet in this position. So reach through your toe tips. Press through the mounds of your big toes. Press downward on the outer edges of your feet, really making contact with the floor. And then again, reach through your inner heel. So your inner heel is reaching towards the floor. So mounds of big toes pressing, outer edges of your feet pressing, inner edges of your heels pressing. And those inner arches are lifting up towards the ceiling. And find that hugging or that toning or that gripping through your hips, through your pelvis. And you'll really find that through the pressure of your feet. And you're building a really strong foundation for your pelvis right now. That's going to hug that sacrum into place. It's going to tone those hips into place. And it's also going to work through the knee joints and the ankles. And just keep that firm pressure in your feet. Smooth breathing. Uncle, anyone there yet? Good job. And exhale, soften, come on out. Okay, now we're gonna take those legs wide so you can come off of your blanket or your bolster. And we're just gonna get those legs as wide as possible. And we're just gonna try and broaden through this front groin and pelvis. So scoot yourself slightly forward to get a little bit more opening. Soften the belly. Good. And engage the muscles of your thighs as though you're trying to break through the floor. So draw the front thigh towards the back of the thigh. And from that center femur bone, imagine that it's drawing through the floor. And then our feet here are really important again. So imagine that your feet are straight up and down. You're spreading through your toe tips. And that little Achilles tendon is also reaching towards the floor. So you're closing that gap between the heel and behind the ankle. Yep, go ahead and draw that to the floor. Keep the heels on the ground. Make space in that Achilles tendon. We really want to support that area. That's a brutal injury if anybody's ever inflamed or torn that Achilles. That's a long recovery. So we want to prevent that and really build that flexibility and toning in through there. And then we're going to draw the outside edges of your knees towards the floor. And keep engaging the thighs, the femur towards the floor. So legs are strong, super strong. And you can scoot yourself a little bit forward again. Find a little bit more space, a little bit more widening and opening. And we are spreading wide through the sit bones, releasing through the sit bones. And those inner groin muscles, it's like a steel cable that is relaxing, releasing towards the floor. Sit bones widening. Good. And find the front of your sit bones. Outer edges of the knees towards the floor. And leaning forward. Just opening up that pelvis more. Yeah. And we start to get into all the tendon attachments, ligament attachments. And exhale, come on up. Again, pretend that you can't use your legs. They're soft, they're relaxed. Use your hands to bend your knees. Okay. Simple cross-legged. We're just gonna sit with that for a minute because that was actually a really big pelvic dissection and progression. So sitting for a minute, just notice, sit up nice and tall. Notice if there's any more opening in your pelvis. How does your sacrum feel? Is there more spaciousness? Is there more strength? More opening? I got all that relaxing moving through my body, so I can definitely feel that opening. Good. Okay, and then we're gonna come on up to our knees. All right, make space for yourself. Okay, so on our knees, you can put something under your knees for cushioning. Let me know if anyone has trouble with this. We can do adjustments. Okay, good. And I know we worked on Tadasana last week. How did the challenge go? Did anybody get to dive into that standing tall to get to practice it? So we're gonna do that, but from our knees. And I love this. So we're gonna find that tailbone again. right? The base of the spine, and we're gonna draw that straight down towards the floor. So you can have your hands on your hips and start to lengthen through your spine, through your tailbone, through the floor, releasing downwards. And then those glute muscles, those top glute muscles are reaching down, backs of your thighs towards the floor. And feel how much spaciousness you're getting in your low back, and toning and strengthening you're getting there. And then this front pelvic area is opening. So you want to imagine this whole pelvic region expanding, lengthening, opening. You really want to get into this area. So on both sides, imagine it's releasing down and releasing up at the same time. Good. And tops of your shoulder rolling down your back. Heart lifting, heart open. Palms can be facing forward. And get that equal pressure in your knees, equal pressure in your feet. And again, tailbone reaching straight down. Stack your knees, stack your hips, your center ribs, bring the front ribs back. Center heart, center throat, center forehead, and the center top of your head, all aligned. And can you align that center top of your head with your tailbone? So tailbone reaching, extending, lengthening. Back of the neck lengthening, reaching, extending. Center of the head reaching, extending. And breathing, making that space in the front body. Good. And then we're going to exhale and take that right leg out. So heel on the floor, toes pointing upwards. Again, holler if there's too much pressure on anyone's knee, we can switch it up. Okay, and so this one we're getting an external rotation. So that left hip is rolling downwards towards the floor, yeah, or right hip, whichever one you're on. So take that pinky toe side of your foot, and that is reaching towards the floor. Good. And then square your chest, square the pelvis and the belly button as much as possible. Keep getting that external rotation of that left leg. Reach through your right toe tips, extend through your right toe tips. And again, that tailbone's reaching down towards the floor. Stack your pelvis, stack your shoulders over your pelvis. Yeah, good. Good. Heart open. Couple more breaths. And exhale, come on out. And make sure you have padding under your knee, blanket, any kind of softness. And do the other side. Okay, good. So straight leg, you're getting that external rotation. That hip is rolling, dropping down behind you. Pinky side toe is rolling towards the floor. And then can we square our pelvis, our belly, our chest? Good. And making sure that there's no hyperextension of the knee. So if you hyperextend, bend that knee slightly. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and bend your knee just slightly, Karen. Yep, there you go. It's gonna work in a different way. Glutes reaching down, tailbone reaching down, heart opening. Armpit, chest lifting upwards and forwards. And you're reaching through this leg, through this knee, as if it was growing really long. Growing that leg long through the floor. Good. Smooth breathing. Couple more breaths. And then exhale, gently come out of this one. Now we're gonna come to standing. And I do want to make sure we get that block work in too. Okay. So, okay, grab a chair if you have one. We're just gonna be working in this way. I'll do a side view for you too. So we're just gonna do legs spreading wide, hands on the chair. Great. Yes, beautiful. Okay, so see if you can kick your heels out. Whatever width stance feels appropriate for you today. And we're going to put the pressure into the outside edges of our feet. So those inner arches are lifting. Heels are kicked out. Pressure on the outside edges of your feet. Yeah. External rotation of your arms and your shoulders. And then open the sit bones, spread the sit bones wide. Release through the sit bones so you're extending, reaching through them so that you can lengthen and access the spine. And begin to engage the legs. So thighs are engaging. Front of the thigh is releasing to the back of the thigh. Open up the backs of the thighs. Outside edges of your hips are rolling towards your inner groins. Find that lift of your inner arches. Pressing the outside edges of your feet. Keep opening the backs of your thighs. Reaching through your sit bones, reaching through the top of your head. Face soft. And get that equal pressure in your hands. And then draw the southern tips of your scapulas, of those shoulder blades, towards the floor, towards your hands. And we're really opening up behind the heart. Yeah. You can work through a lot in the neck and the shoulders in this. Get that equal pressure in your hands, equal pressure in your feet. Release through the top of the head. Reach through your sit bones. So your sit bones are reaching behind you, extending behind you, lengthening behind you. Smooth breathing. And let's do some of that pelvic floor work. You're already doing it naturally in this. So sipping up from all four corners of the front pelvis, side pelvis, back pelvis. Exhale through your mouth. And find that inner lift in your pelvis. Exhale. Engaging that pelvic floor. Exhale through your lips. It's like a straw sucking upwards. Engaging the front pelvis, the back pelvis, the side pelvis. Good. And then exhale, slowly walk those feet together. And set that chair aside. All right, good, good, good. So if you have a block, grab it. I wanted to do some block work today. Okay, so this one I do want to demonstrate before you go into it because you don't want to turn your neck when you're going into it. So watch the first round and then I'll walk you through it. Okay, so if you don't have a block, then you're gonna be just holding yourself. So watch first, but my pelvis is square, my feet are square, my knees are square. And then I'm just gently lifting my pelvis up towards the ceiling. Again, you don't want to turn your head, but if you don't have a block, it's okay, you'll just be toning here. If you do have a block, you can put it on the lower setting or the higher setting. And the block can be either way, either one does a good adjustment to the sacrum, it's different. And again, I'm walking on the very tops of my shoulders, getting a big opening here. And then softening the belly. And again, we're not turning the neck, so get a good visual of this before going in, and then I'll walk you through. But that center chin is aligned with that center sternum. And then if, you know, whichever height you want to work with the block, or if you don't have the block, you're here. And then coming out is where we get the real work. So pretending like I have an alligator tail. And I'm drawing my tailbone away from my face. It's very different than this one. So drawing the tailbone away from my face is going to give a huge opening of the heart. Knees come together. And then you get to enjoy it. This is like the best pose ever when you get that heart opening. So we'll walk through that together. But any questions before we begin? Yeah.
Your knees and your legs, were they kind of out like this?
Knees are parallel, feet are parallel.
Oh, okay,
They're not wide, they're just
parallel, okay,
yeah,
okay,
it's almost like you have a block between them like this. That's about how they are. They're like hips width apart.
okay. And I don't have a block, but can I use this ball?
Yeah, you totally can. And try it with it and without, because you'll get different activation without, you know, the prop and with the prop. See which one
Okay.
feels better today.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions before diving in? No? Ready? Okay. Sweet. So let's come lying on our backs. If you have a block or a prop, have it next to you. Okay, good. So get that pelvis square, get your feet square, toes straight ahead. Knees are about hips width apart. They're not wider. And then we're gonna exhale, press into your feet and start drawing your sacrum up towards the ceiling. And again, you can start without the prop and just feel that strength in your legs. Feel that strength in your low back. Such a good one for resetting the sacrum. Again, we're not turning the head. So keeping that chin in alignment with your center chest. So you can stay here, or you can do that first level of the block and put it right under the sacrum. And then if you're able to, you can lift all the way up to the next level of the block, the next height, and get on the top of the shoulders. Again, if you don't have a block, you're just lifting yourself, and you can come down when you get tired. So with the block, it's more of a restorative pose that you're relaxing into. But you're still imagining that you're lifting your sacrum away from the block. So there still is some active posture happening. Without a block, you're working hard. And again, those knees are parallel. Don't let them splay wide. Press through your feet. Just gonna come peek at everyone. Good, beautiful. Love it. Yay. Okay, and then the coming out is where we actually get the real work of this pose. All of it is good, but this is the icing. So those palms are facing up. Go ahead and release, remove the block. And your tailbone is extending away from your face. Imagine that you have a long alligator tail. And so you're drawing the back of the pelvis away from the back of the head. And you're moving real slow. So you're slowly drawing your pelvis back towards the floor, but you're continuously lengthening the tailbone and pretending you have that alligator tail. Lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. It's like a tuck of the pelvis. Lengthening, lengthening. Slowly draw the sacrum to the floor. Now your knees come together. And have that beautiful heart opening. Yes, perfect. Beautiful. So that tailbone is releasing away from the floor and you're drawing the back of the pelvis to the floor all the way. Release the pelvis to the floor, draw the knees together so the knees are touching. Yeah. And then your back is on the floor, your heart is opening. Okay, let's get another round in, this time without the block. So feet are parallel, heart is open, knees can come hips width apart. Equal pressure into your feet. So press downwards into your feet to lift your butt upwards. Press downwards to lift upwards. Lifting, 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 lifting. Keep pressing in your feet. Keep drawing that sacrum up towards the ceiling. And this one, you're just engaging as high as is comfortable for you. But feel that nice toning all through your sacrum, all through your lower back. Really, it's a strong pose. You're building your glutes here. You're building the muscles around your sacrum. So keep that pressure in your feet. Holding here for a couple of smooth breaths. Use that breath. Again, head is straight. And then we're going to exhale, start releasing the pelvis back down. But pull that alligator tail, pull that tailbone away from your face. And so you're slowly going back down, but the whole time you're releasing that tailbone long. Release the tailbone, release the tailbone, release the tailbone until the back of the pelvis comes to the floor. Knees come together. Soften, relax, feel that heart opening. And take a few deep breaths. Okay, last one. We want to work in threes just so we have that repetition. You get something more from it each time you do it. Let's take a couple more recovery breaths. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to press through our feet again. So press downwards in your feet to lift the pelvis upwards. Equal pressure in your feet. Keep pressing, pressing, pressing downwards. Raise that pelvis upwards. You're going into that bridge pose. No turning of the head. Keep that firm pressure in your feet. Lifting that pelvis higher. Smooth breathing, toning through the glutes, toning through the pelvis. Face is soft, throat is soft, firm pressure in your feet. And then we're slowly going to come down again by releasing the tailbone. So imagine you have that long alligator tail. It's pulling, it's releasing, it's lengthening. You're getting that extension of your tailbone. So you're slowly, slowly moving down, coordinating that movement of the tailbone releasing away from the face until the pelvis touches the floor. Knees come together. Relax. Smooth breathing. And then just allow yourself to relax here, soften here. Feel the support underneath you of the ground. Allow your body to soften. And then we're going to exhale, roll on out to the side. Pressing downwards to come upwards. Take your time. Slowly make your way to sitting. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm excited to hear how that one was for you guys.
Lordy.
Lordy.
Oh, I
Lord.
love that one, yeah.
Ooh, that was so good.
Mm,
That was rough. Oh,
yeah.
wow. And you were saying, come down, come down, come down. And I was already down, and you were still saying, come down, come down, come down.
We're down, eh?
It's a real slow come down because we're trying to coordinate that tailbone, and it's a hard coordination.
What was
Mm.
that movement? What do you call that last movement?
It's a bridge pose. Yeah, it's a
Bridge
form.
pose. Okay.
Bridge pose.
I felt really relaxed at the end after doing it. Like I just wanted to go to sleep. I just wanted to
Yes.
stay
Oh, I
there
did
and
too.
sleep.
Oh my gosh, it is the ultimate.
Yana, Phyllis, like that's the most relaxed I've been
Yeah.
all week. All week, I have not felt that relaxed.
Yeah.
I actually felt it was worth going through that to get
Yes.
to that state. Like
Yeah.
it was amazing.
Yes, Andrea.
I know I felt
Yeah.
it in the pose.
And you know, Andrea, I keep saying this needs to be an evening class. I keep saying it. I keep saying it.
Well, now you feel your day relaxed.
Oh,
Mm.
boy. Wow.
Ah,
Yeah, it really, really was relaxing. The pelvic work that we were doing earlier, it took a while, but then I started feeling, I don't know, I started feeling stuff, you know? And it just felt like I could feel something working in there. The more we were doing it, the more we were doing it. And I thought that that was challenging, but then we got to, this is called the bridge work.
Yeah.
bridge work, yeah.
Bridge work, that was challenging, but I agree with everyone. It was just so relaxing, and it just felt like it touched almost every area of my body.
Mm.
It was great. Thank you.
Yeah, there's some variations. We will keep working on that one. I just love it. And it's hard work. It's hard work, but man, I love how it hugs your pelvis. It puts everything in place. And then when you come out, it's just a complete nervous system reset. Mhm.
Mm.
Now the block, what would I ask for if I went on Amazon in terms of getting that block?
See, yoga block,
Yoga
Yeah. Oh, yoga.
yeah, yoga block.
I really like the cork ones because they're a nice firmness. The
Okay.
foam ones I find can sometimes be too flexible. So I like the cork. Those are my favorite.
Cork. Okay, so
Yeah.
just ask for a cork block. Cork yoga block.
Yoga block, and sometimes they come in sets of 2. I like having 2 because we can do a lot with 2.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and if you're doing an order, they do have some yoga blankets. You might want to get just a couple. It's up to you guys.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the other thing I do recommend, you know, start with whatever, wherever you want to, but a yoga strap
Yoga
is
strap.
helpful as
Okay.
well. And I like when it has, well, whatever clasp you can find. This one's Hugger Mugger.
Okay,
HUGGERMUGGER. Hugger.
okay.
And you
Thank
can
you.
find all this on Amazon. And again, I like to do 2 straps because there's so much you can do with them. I mean,
Okay,
work together.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So that's the cork yoga block, the
Yeah.
yoga blanket, and the yoga strap, hugger mugger.
Hugger Mugger, yes, exactly. And you can opt for the blanket or a bolster. This is a Hugger Mugger bolster too. Again, whichever one you feel. I do like how much boost and height this gives you. And that
Okay.
last pose we just did, one of my absolute favorites is on these bolsters. And you do a similar one, we get the heart open, but it's the relaxing version of it. But
Wow,
you can do that with a couple of blankets too. So either like 2 or 3 blankets or a bolster, whichever you prefer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rita, I wanted to get the name of that book again. I wrote it down someplace. I want to order that as well, the yoga book.
Yeah, let me grab this. And then you guys will be set up for your home practice. So light on yoga and BKS Iyengar. And he has another one, light on light,
What's your name? BK?
BKS, and then Iyengar, Iyengar.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the forwards by Yehudi Menuhin. It's really good. But his, even just, even looking at his poses, like you're gonna get it, download. So beautiful. And he has another book called Light on Life, which is more just how yoga has impacted him and his philosophy and his outlook. And it's beautiful. It's one of my favorite books. So yeah.
great.
Uh,
As Sandy, as my sweet Earth Angel says, thank you for putting us back together again.
Yes.
Feels
Yeah.
good to be together again.
And Sandy tells
We look forward to Thursday night just because we know Friday's coming.
Sandy is unapologetic. Sandy is unapologetic about that. She even tells the coaches that
Oh, yes.
we can't wait for Rita to put us back together after this.
Yes, absolutely.
Rita, you know what was amazing? Like what Karen said about the first exercise when our legs were crossed. The activation that came, I got this sensation that went right across my upper thighs and coccyx area, and it was like, it wasn't quite pain, but it was like I couldn't describe it, and I was like, what's going on? Oh my goodness. Then shortly after that, Rita, you said you might feel percolating, and I'm thinking that's what it was. I was percolating. I was like, what the, oh my goodness, what is that sensation? I didn't know what was going on. I was like, how do you describe? And you said, I'm like, oh my God, that's divine. That's divine. That's exactly. I felt like a coffee pot percolating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a coffee percolator. You are percolating.
Yeah. Oh,
No, it's quite the experience. It's an awakening.
yeah.
Yeah, you will feel alive after that percolation.
Yeah.
mhm.
I'm glad.
Wow.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and that's a big release coming from the body too. So I love it.
Yeah. Yana, Yana, Yana. I feel you.
Ooh, good
Mhm.
word.
And I definitely can feel the flow of energy throughout the whole workout, though. I mean, it really is that awareness of the fact that, everything within us is is an energy force.
Yes,
Yeah, and it's
yes.
really
Mhm.
coordinate all those different points. It will start bringing such an awareness throughout your whole day and your body.
Yeah. Mm,
And it makes me realize just how powerful our bodies are if we just give them a chance
yeah.
to do what they're supposed to be doing.
Mm,
Yeah,
I
they
love it.
miracles. Our bodies are miracles. They are amazing. It's truly.
yeah. Good,
So
good.
how
Thank
how
you.
have you been feeling, Rita?
What's up?
How have you been feeling?
I'm feeling so good. Yeah, I'm feeling great. I love being pregnant. I'm having so much fun.
Is this your
Awesome.
first? Is this your first?
This is my first, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So baby's moving, playing. Yeah, we're doing good.
Are
Oh,
you
that's
singing? You singing to the baby and reading to the baby and all that good stuff?
Totally dancing.
Yay! I love it. Love it.
And when are you due, Rita?
End of December, like the 31st.
oh,
Oh,
End of
wow.
December, my birth month. Yay! December.
wow.
By Capricorn or
Capricorn.
Which day are you,
Yeah.
Karen?
Oh, I'm Sagittarian. December the 10th. December 10th.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
I'm
Okay.
sad too.
Listen, I have to say it. I have to say it. The closest persons, I have a lot of relatives. My grandmother, December 12th, my sister, December 6th, my husband, December 22nd. Let me tell you guys, y'all are the most generous, beautifully spirited people, kind to a fault. And when you said
Oh,
December, I was like, that is your spirit. Oh my goodness.
oh,
Very giving people. Wow.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, that's beautiful. I have a whole lot of folk in December as well. Yeah, that's a good month. Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
like the eternal optimist.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm like Pollyanna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her.
A 10. Okay.
Good,
Beautiful.
good.
Yay, fun.
Thank you, Rita. Thank you.
Cool.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes.
Enjoy
Thank you,
your
Coach.
weekend, your week, have fun, get outside, play, get with some loved ones, and then
Absolutely,
next time.
absolutely. You do the same. Good to see you, Coach Rita. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Rita. Thank you,
Andrea.
Karen.
Thank you,
Thank
Have
you,
a beautiful
Andrea.
Drea.
Thank
weekend,
you,
everyone.
Sandy, and thank you, Phyllis. Love you
Yes,
guys.
thank
Mwah.
you.
Have a blessed now.
Y'all,
Bye-bye. Take
enjoy your
care. Bye, baby. Bye, baby.
Happy Sabbath.
Bye,
Yeah, bye,
baby.
baby.
Baby.